Welcome back, guys, to another RWBY review, and boy am I excited! We got another great fight coming up!
Oh yeah!
It's gonna be awesome!
You better believe it!
Bird versus bug!
Badass versus bitch!
Tuxedo versus vest!
Sexy versus stupid!
Sight versus claws!
Shotgun versus face!
Crow versus scorpion!
Bumblebee versus Black Sun!
Edward versus Ironman! Wait, what?
We all know who wins.
Anyways, guys, I'm really looking forward to it, so let's get the recap out of the way.
Last time on Ranger, we saw our four amigos come across a deserted town. The place was once the hopes and dreams of many. But like with our hopes and dreams, Rooster Teeth shattered them harder than when you realized your bachelor's in music won't get you any more than a $13 apartment with a view of your ugly neighbor screaming the techno. Damn patriarchy. Talking about the subject, we got another wonderful song from the lovely Cassie Williams, to which Weiss did a rather good lip sync to. And it wasn't just the song that Weiss used to state her defiance against her father, as in the following party, she became enraged by some stupid hoe bashing the fall beacon, and in her anger, fully realized her semblance. However, that may come back to bite her. And another character is looking for a bite to eat as well, as Tyrion finally catches up with the group. They try to fend him off, but none of them are a match for this pesky little bug. However, when all hope seems lost, and the cannibal may claim his prize, say nevermore, for the crow shall arise.
Are we done with the recap? Great! On to the epic showdown! Lakana, roll the clip!
Oh, come on! I want to get to the fight! Skip! Finally, we return to the little kid we were given 2 minutes of screen time so far. Okay. So yeah, we're not back with the fight that everyone was looking forward to, and instead are back with Oscar. Kind of like how when people went to go see Godzilla, and instead we got a soldier kick-ass, ironically not kicking ass.
We did get to see him make out with his sister, so that was kinda hot.
Anyways, we're stuck with the kid, so might as well deal with it. Which is what Ozpin tries to explain, saying that they need to head to Mistral so that the perv Mick eyeball fetish can reinsert himself back into the plot. However, Oscar is still trying to convince himself that this is just a hallucination. So Ozpin tries to reassure him that he is still sane, as Oz too went through this as well. Still trying to ignore the teacher. What a lovely student. Ozpin then offers a way to prove that he is real by asking Oscar to see if he can recall what the headmaster of Haven's Academy's office looks like.
It's Sodom colored, with a large mahogany desk. There's a small table and chairs in the corner for guests, with a tea set that I gave him.
Oz explains that the reason he can remember that which he never saw is because they are bonded, and it was he, Ozpin, that helped build that school. However, Oscar replies by saying that he must have seen the office in one of his aunt's books. Ozpin then tries one last time to explain that they have a great task ahead of them, that Oscar has a chance to become a hero like he dreamed of, a chance to save the world. But first they need to
Get out of my head!
Oscar! Supper time! I better see clean hands.
Alright, that's nice and all, but on to the fight! Between Weiss and her daddy.
Are you ever going to show us what we came for?
God! Well, we now find ourselves with the Ice Queen being reprimanded by the Walking Dick for her actions at the banquet. Jacques says that because of her stunt, they lost more than Leanne, as his reputation is all but destroyed. Weiss explains that she wishes to leave, but Pimp Daddy doesn't give a shit what his hoe thinks, so long as she continues to tarnish the family name.
I have done nothing but fight to uphold the honor of my family name. A name that you married into. Ah!
Thought I was joking when I called him a pimp, huh? Kinda.
Well, looks like my plans for Wheatley will have to wait. For now, Jacques the Cock, I must demand you.
Well, somehow Jockey Boy continues to talk, even though he should be quaking over the seething hate that is emanating from the fans, saying that he is very disappointed that she doesn't understand what he has done to keep this family in power. And seeing that she is likely to be even more trouble, he explains that she need not worry herself over the fate of their company anymore.
You are no longer the heiress to the Schnee Dust Company.
Excuse me?
Jacques explains that the trauma she experienced at Beacon's Fall was clearly too much and has left her unfit to leave her room, let alone run a global company. He goes on saying that she won't even be allowed to leave the manor, not until they can decide a better course for her future, and that the future of their company shall now fall to her little brother.
It's time to wake up and face reality.
Whitley?
Yes, sister?
Weiss demands to know if Whitley planned this, saying that he never liked either of his sisters, and yet he has been so nice since she returned.
It's foolish not to do as father asks. Don't worry, Weiss. The Schnee family name is in good hands.
You little shit.
God damn it, will you guys stop it? I can't torture you both at the same time!
Well, technically you could.
Not if you wish to utterly crush their spirits and rape their souls with their own dicks.
Well, anyways, Weiss returns to her room and, distraught, throws herself on the bed in tears. For about 2 seconds before she stands up and begins to move some of her furniture as well as closing the curtains. Which, considering how thin those things are, wouldn't even stop a blind peeping Tom from looking in.
Yep, and I have the pictures to prove it. Go to www.weissnews.com for your access to the live feeds for as little as $5.99 a month. I accept all major credit cards.
Finally, we return to the fight that we're actually here to see. Only took 3/5 of the f***ing runtime to get here. Well, as the crazy crab becomes ecstatic to meet Crow in the flesh, I guess he's hashtag with Vic. Crow explains that he's not going to take Ruby. Definitely not to Salem.
I think we've had enough talk now, don't you?
You took the words right out.
Fail! Not allowing your opponent to finish their epic one-liner. Point to Crow.
And the fight ensues, where as quick as Scorpionox here is, he eventually finds out that Crow can not only match his speed, but surpass him in strength. However, this Joker's got a few tricks up his sleeves. Or on his gauntlets!
Wasn't it a wise child that once said,
It's also a gun.
Oh.
Seeing that this nutjob is distracted, Ren and Nora try to even the fight, only to find out that there's still no match for him. Crow warns them to keep their distance, so Ruby gets an idea. Fucking camping little bitch.
It's a legitimate strategy!
However, she sees that the two are moving too fast for her to get a shot. And as the dumbass is again distracted, Crow decides to
hit him with the punch that he should have seen coming 3 years ago.
Crow then lays a smackdown on the dude before literally walking over to his sword. God damn, what a badass. Eventually Tyrion remembers, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be killing the fools. But Crow shotgun jumps himself out of danger. The fight then moves to the rooftops before quickly returning to the streets as Ruby does as well. And that's why, people, you have a landing strategy. So you can look like a badass like this. As Tyrion re-engages Crow, Ruby leaps in to help.
Ruby, what did I say? Never trust a Schnee.
Heaps are awesome.
Small weapons are for pussies.
Always eat the cookies you get from strangers.
When in doubt, drink.
I'm not too drunk. Your dad's just too sexy.
Entirety.
No, it's not that.
Listen, Crow. You had that coming.
I mean, anime fights are stupid already without you guys stopping to admire the moment.
Okay, that was pretty funny.
You bitch!
Holy motherfucking headed sucking son of a shit donkey! God damn, I think that's the first fucking time somebody's cursed in this motherfucking bitch! Wowzers!
Well, Tyrion sees that he's outnumbered and outgunned, so he decides to turn tail and run. Well, apparently Crow doesn't like my joke as he collapses, but he says that 'tis but a scratch.
Yeah, what kind of fungus was that guy? I think it was a scorpion. Was it a scorpion? Yeah, he was a scorpion. Look, we all know that crow is poison, but thank you for reminding us that the kids are retards.
The said retards then try to ask the dead man what he's doing there, who that cycle was, and what the hell is going on. To which Crow responds with,
What's your favorite fairy tale?
Wow, that's tough works quickly. All delusional now? Let me guess, you taste colors.
and seeing that's where the episode ends,
a moment of silence for the dearly departed. Nah, I'm just joking with you. Rooster Teeth wouldn't be that stupid to kill off another popular character. And that's the end of the episode. And yes, another good one. Sort of. Damn it, look, I don't like nitpicking, but as always, if there's a problem, like your face, I gotta point it out.
Which is, again, why you're still single.
On the most part, this entire episode was near damn perfect. Except for one scene. And yep, we were shown it right away. Now, the issue here isn't that Osmond was brought back from the dead in a comic book reveal cop-out, as again, it's how and why a character died that makes it important to the story. And it's not that we had to wait until the end of the episode to finally watch the fight between Crow Daddy and Tyrion Delirian, as patience is a virtue and good things come to those who wait. It's the fact that we weren't given enough time with these two before getting to this scene. It's again like Miles and Carrie realized that they needed to show us something in order for the story to make sense, so they just threw something together hoping that we wouldn't notice. Thankfully, they didn't just pop it into one episode like they did last time, but this is still not good enough. It's clear that this wasn't an easy thing to do, as we did have a lot of characters to go through with a lot of different scenes. However, there was a way that will become clear later on. For now, it's just a little off-putting seeing Oscar go from suddenly hearing a voice in his head to casually talking to this disembodied pervert. A few more scenes in previous episodes would have smoothed out the transition and, more importantly, give us enough time to get to know this kid Oscar.
One of RWBY's greatest strengths has been, as I've said many times before, their characters. But one of the reasons for that is because they gave each character the appropriate amount of time to be developed.
Oscar here, however, has about 3 minutes of screen time in which he's pretty much said nothing. So suddenly having him to have to hold up a quarter of the episode's runtime is a tough task. Especially since this was a moment where we were supposed to feel sympathy towards this lowly farmer boy, who's all of a sudden finding his world torn apart as a huge responsibility was being thrusted upon him.
Well, better than in him.
We're supposed to feel for this kid who's being told that he would have to leave his home to the great unknown. Even if he did have fantasies about it, it still wouldn't be an easy thing. Imagine living your own life and then suddenly being told that all you knew was going to change, and you had no idea if you would ever return. However, we can't feel for him because we don't know him because we weren't given enough time with him. Now, someone we have been given more than enough time to get to know has been Jacques, and boy does Jason Douglas do an amazing job bringing out the sociopath. Which makes some sense as he has some experience bringing out the psychopath. Again, Rooster Teeth managed to hire another well-known actor, which goes to show just how far RWBY has come. And very well may go, if they don't make another fuck-up again. And it looks like Jacques is willing to go as far as necessary to ensure that his company remains on top. Though now we understand why. Not a direct bloodline to the family, Jacques has no doubt struggled to be worth the name he married into. Don't get me wrong in thinking that I defend this dick. I just love interesting and complex characters, and that's certainly Jacques. Originally, many were afraid that he was just going to be another neglectful father that was too busy to deal with his children because he needed more money, as Weiss more or less stated back in Volume 1. But now we see what kind of man he is. Hitting your children in anger is not outside the realm of what normal parents would do, especially if deeply insulted like that. However, I don't think any of us would act like nothing had happened, and if it did, that it was all their fault. This definitely gears us into hating him.
Way ahead of you.
Cut off his dick, Lee, and feed it to the shit, Lee.
And more importantly, plants roots for Weiss's rebellion. Before, she was already on the edge, and with so much wrong at home, she was seriously considering, when it came to this lovely manor, or the horrors that she knew that the world was capable of, taking her chances out in that danger. But an interesting question does arise with this. Is this the first time she's seen the side of her father? No doubt he's already struck their mother, into a relationship with Mr. Rose. But it seems that he's never gone this far with his children. Or at least, not with Weiss. Or has he? She did say that life was difficult and that her father would lose his temper from time to time. And then there is his response to her statement that someone would notice her absence. Is it possible that this isn't the first time he's done this? Wheatley did seem rather insistent on Weiss obeying their father. Was his attitude due to some event that revealed to him that it was better to serve Jacques than to fight against him? I mean, I know Weiss said that he was never really friendly with his siblings, though when are siblings ever best chums outside of a redneck trailer park? But let's not forget that portrait. The only one there at ease is the man himself, whereas even Whitley is downcast and broken.
Now again, don't get me wrong, I'm not defending this little twerp.
Oh, good. For a second, I thought my schedule was fucked. Cause you know what they say. 1 is lonesome, 2 is a pairing, a threesome is awesome, but with 4, it starts to get a little crowded.
However, as I've said, this is all just coals being heaped onto the fire that burns on our little Ice Queen's heart. And enough about me gushing over my best girl. If you want more of that, just check out my Volume 1 character review. On to the best part of the episode.
And I'm not joking. This is not only the best scene of the episode, but likely the best of the volume so far. It's still nowhere near what Monty was capable of creating, but it shows that Rooster Teeth can do it if they actually put some effort towards it and have an interesting pairing. A guy utterly driven versus a dude who couldn't give 2 toots of a Goliath is definitely an entertaining pair. And interestingly enough, this did bring back happy memories of Crow and Winter's battle. Both had characters testing the other more than fighting them. Both expanded the verticality of the fight. And both weren't really life or death situations. Yeah, I don't think a single person really feels like Crow is going to be knocked off so soon. Though thanks to some lying assholes, Rooster Teeth might change that. Nor with this being the middle of the season and Salem just being introed mere episodes ago, did we believe that RWBY would be taken. So this was just an opportunity for the animation department to wow us with their new 3D modeler. And it wasn't bad.
That's not much coming from you, but I'll take what I can get.
Sure, there were a few moments that felt like they should have been sped up for greater impact, and some of the cinematography was a bit underwhelming. However, we need to remember that all of that could have been a whole lot worse. And the choreography was pretty good this time. Both could match the other's speed, so they had to rely on their other strengths to win the day.
And some of the jokes did, no pun intended, land a hit with us, even if Tyrion is still not a threatening villain.
And another bugger to it were the instances in which Ranger could have tried to help, but didn't. I know that they weren't really a match for Dr. Claw here, but they should have had them do something more than just stand around looking bored. To be honest, I don't hate that too much, as it did reveal another interesting aspect to a relationship. We've always gotten the feeling that RWBY had a deeper connection to Crow beyond him being her uncle and her modeling her own weapon after his.
Yes, but you've already tried to kill that theory, and I have no reason to believe that you wish to recant your sins, heathen.
The way RWBY tries to help and then leaps in to protect her family again shows the strength in the bond that they place on it, emphasizing the moment between Crow and Raven. We also see that RWBY can hold her own with her uncle by her side, and that Crow might have shown her a few tricks, which makes sense since he was her teacher back in Signal.
Now at the moment, there's not much more we can glean from this episode without making some assumptions. And since it's getting late and I still got a few more hours of editing to do, I'll just leave it with this.
This episode was a great reminder of several things. That this world is filled with more stories than the one being told. That even through some of our hardest adversities, we can still find the strength to rise. And that even with their friend gone, RWBY can still surprise us. As well as give us hope for its future.
And I'm looking forward to that next episode, as it seems that we might be getting some more plot.
God, you haven't complained about that in a long time.
Well, thanks to Volume 3, I'm afraid of what they'll do if I start complaining.
We don't need to make something like this a reality. As cool as that would be to see.
Anyways, folks, thanks for seeing my review. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe. And please, leave a comment on what you thought. I'm Ricardo, the Cynical Critic. With me, no movie's sacred, no video's safe, but all deserve a chance. I'll catch you guys next time. Toodles!